whenever you visit the West Coast, there's this fabled Anderson collection, which has been put together over so many years. Hunk, and Putter, their daughter, were fabled really as models of collectors.
A significant philosophy that the Andersons have followed for many decades, falls within this idea of the head and the hands. They really strive to ensure that each object has a balance of the head, meaning sort of the idea or the concept or the ingenuity of the artist, and the hands, the craftsmanship, the material sort of use.
I first encountered the Andersons in the late 60s, early 70s. Eventually, we all were talking about them because they were acquiring such incredible works of art. Anybody who wants an American icon sculpture would immediately turn to Smith. The David Smith is called 5 Sea Arcs. It's a work that was done quite late in his life, 1963. It really has the airiness because of its material. That had a lot to do with how the artist treated the surface. It looks like it could take off.
When one looks in detail at the prints that their artists created, you see a wonderful marriage of original ideas and really pushing the technical boundaries. Diebenkorn thought of printmaking, he described it once as a battle with unseen forces. We have here two large color aquatints by Richard Diebenkorn, the large bright blue and the large light blue. And the interesting thing to note is that large bright blue was printed first, and then immediately afterwards they inked up the plate, but only at the top of the sheet. So the light blue, you can see, is almost a ghost impression. It was a sort of a memory of that initial printing.
This pool painting, the Paper Pool series that Hockney did with Ken Tyler from 1978. They are made out of paper pulp colored with pigment and pressed into sheets of paper. So the color itself is coming from this paper pulp, and it's very beautiful.
In 1978, the Andersons visited Ken Tyler and saw the work he was doing in pressed paper pulp. Not only did they acquire works by David Hockney, the wonderful pool, they were motivated to then sponsor experimental printmaking. And so they decided to set up a publishing company called 3EP. The fact that they wanted to set up this company shows that they were keen to understand and promote ways of doing things.
For the Andersons to have an opportunity to see an artist at work, was incredibly inspiring to the way in which they thought about an object that ultimately was hanging on a wall.
They had a real desire not just to share, but to educate, to teach. If it started off at the most domestic level, things in their house, then things in their offices, and then ultimately their crowning achievement, which was the construction of an entire museum at Stanford.
There's such greatness in these works, and there's such greatness in what the Andersons have done to put together a collection as comprehensive and as cohesive as it is.
Over 50, 60 years, it has all been about sharing and educating and bringing everyone into the circle of art appreciation.